Hi guys, just before we start the video, I'd like to extend a special thanks to all of my Patreons. I really couldn't do this kind of stuff without you guys. Thank you so much for your support, and I'd like to extend a very special thank you to Bear Sinneth. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It means a whole lot. I think you've been with me since the very beginning, I believe. It's crazy. Thank you so much. And with that, guys, let's get to the video. Hi, I'm Spyn. And today, I'd like to talk to you about some of the things that you guys said bothered you most about the fandom. These, of course, came from a Twitter post that I made asking you guys to tell me what bothers you most about the fandom. Boy, did you guys respond! Like, a lot. Like, way more than I expected. And also, some of those topics deserve their own video entirely. Now, in the interest of time, I could not respond to all of them individually, and some of them did happen to overlap, but with this information, I was able to compile a list of about 6 things that upset you. And we're going to talk about those. Okay, so let's get into these, I guess. Number 1, the perception that the fandom is just about sex. Oh yes, this one's an old favorite. Everything in the fandom revolves completely around sex. This is just patently untrue, and not every single aspect of the fandom has to revolve around sex. And in fact, it doesn't. Now, it is true that when adults get together, things don't always stay PG. But I defy you to find any fandom that has a 100% no sex policy. No, go on. Oh wait. Oh, you couldn't find one? Well, I, for one, am shocked and doubly appalled. The truth is, it doesn't really matter what we say or do. People will always think the worst of us, and there's very little that we can do to change that if they're unwilling to come and experience the fandom for themselves. The best we can do is to try to present the best possible public face for the fandom that we possibly can. And even then, it's probably not going to help too much. People like to think badly about others. It makes them feel better about their meaningless lives. It's not as if sex is even that bad of a thing, really. The only reason it's bad is because some religious nutjobs made it a taboo topic in the first place. Now, you and I both know that the fandom is a multifaceted group of people with varying interests and ideas. But that's going to be terribly difficult to explain to someone who's never seen it from the inside. Luckily, public perception of us has been increasing over the years, so we have that going for us. All we have to do is not screw that up. It's not like we're good at screwing things up or anything, right guys? Number 2, entitlement in suiting. The elitists, sitting high atop their ivory towers, looking down upon all of the peasant class, too unfortunate or too impoverished to afford the best, and therefore unworthy to speak to or dirty the suits of those of the upper echelon. I would truly like to believe that this one doesn't happen, even though I'm certain that it definitely does. I would certainly hope that no one among us would ever judge another person for not being able to afford or be in possession of, say, a multicolored bark suit. Have you looked at their queue? I mean, for God's sakes, don't get excited. Just to turn a phrase, there's at least a 2-year wait list, and the prices start at $5,000. Not that I'm working on anything, or may have a new suit in the works, or something. Multicolored bark, if you watch this, hit me up. I've got something for you. I shouldn't have to say this, but please do not treat other people poorly based on what they have, or for what they don't have, for that matter. We are all in the same fandom together. Try to respect one another. Please. Number 3, popularity contest. So, is it all just one big popularity contest to determine who has the most followers or fanboys? The sad truth of the matter is, yes it is. But only if you let it become that thing for you. Always remember that we have a choice whether to engage in this type of behavior or to just ignore it. But the fact remains that this particular attitude will always be present, not just in the fandom, but in society in general. so there's really no escaping it. This is because people are happier the higher up the social totem pole they happen to climb. Apparently there's been some sort of research into this, and there may be a biologically hardwired thing about us that makes us feel that way. Now, I'm not a biologist. I failed biology. That's why I went to sociology. I could be wrong about this, so you should do your own research. So what are we supposed to do then? In my personal opinion, you could just ignore it. Or you can choose to play the game if you want. But for my money, it's always better to have friends than followers. So try to collect friends instead. Number 4, your fans are your might, and others cannot challenge you. Whew. Now, this popularity contest stuff, it has some ancillary benefits if you're able to win. That is, those legions of adoring fans and followers can easily be galvanized into a digital army capable of completely decimating the life or the lives of anyone foolish enough to disagree with their Lord and Savior. This, of course, grants this individual a particular superpower, the ability to ignore facts and logic with almost complete immunity, with the stipulation that that person continues to toe the party line by saying things that everyone agrees with. And if you think for 1 second these very same individuals that yesterday were your adoring fans are not willing to rip you to shreds and cast you down from that ivory tower you're living in a fireball made of dumpsters, then you're far more deluded than I originally thought possible. In effect, challenge these people at your own risk, as whether they're right or wrong, legions of rabid fanboys will defend them to their dying breath, which of course leads us nicely into our number 5 slot. Number 5, mob mentality. Along with the past 2 complaints, mob mentality is unquestionably the most terrifying force in the fandom. Because once the group decides that you're evil or otherwise unwanted, or my favorite word, problematic, then it's just accepted as complete and total truth. No questions asked because the group thinks so. This is the crux of a lot of our problems in the fandom. And should you go against this group, you will find yourself squarely within its sights. And this is how the mob maintains compliance amongst the group. So effectively, it's think what I think and do what I do, or find yourself the recipient of our collective, poorly researched wrath. Because why think for yourself when the group is so willing to do it for you? Just do what you're told. Don't ask any questions. This one absolutely has to stop. And the only way we can stop it is by thinking for ourselves. And once we do that, a great deal of our problems will resolve themselves. So I urge you, think for yourself. If you hear something about somebody, do a little research yourself. Don't just grab your pitchfork and your torch just because the rest of the group has done so. Do a little bit of digging into it before you decide that this person is evil based around groupthink and mob mentality. Please, think for yourselves. I know you can do it. Number 6, fursuiters being groped and stalked. One thing no one tells you, well, up until this point anyway, that getting a fursuit can present more than just the danger of heat exhaustion. If you have a cute suit or popular suit, or maybe yourself are cute and popular, then there is a distinct likelihood that over the course of a convention weekend, you could be groped, stalked back to your room, or if you're extremely lucky, both. I myself have been groped several times at several conventions I have attended. It's every FWA. It's becoming like some sort of weird tradition. This is obviously unacceptable behavior and should definitely not be tolerated. Doing either one of these things makes you exceptionally creepy and does not make any one of us like you more for it. In fact, it puts most of our guards way up. So if this happens to you, please go tell con security. Make sure the person understands that this will not be tolerated. Anyway guys, thanks for watching the video. These were the 6 things that you said most bother you about the fandom as a whole. I hope you learned something. I hope it made you think. Hopefully it makes you think for yourself from now on. And, well, if you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. If you want to list the things that you dislike about the fandom down below in the comment section, please do. I'll be happy to hear them. I'm sure these 6 are not the only things. Also, guys, I do gaming throughout the week. You can catch me on Mixer. I also have a Patreon if you want to support the channel. I'm going to link all of my social media stuff, along with the Mixer stuff, and along with my Patreon stuff, down in the video description. So if you want to go and support the channel, or you want to go and support my other things, please do that. And you can follow me on my other social medias. My DMs are always open for you guys. So hopefully I'll see you there. And like always, guys, I have some words to leave you with. Think for yourself. And let others enjoy the privilege of doing so too. Bye!